Discover the incredible moment when a stranger tapped on her window, revealing life-changing hope. The sun barely peeked through the grimy diner windows, casting patches of weak light on Lucy's calloused hands as she scrubbed the table. The laughter of families at their booths faded into the background, blending with the hum of everyday life, one that felt very distant from her own. Being 35, with 2 kids to provide for, Lucy often felt like she was drowning in a sea of bills and empty promises. Every shift at the diner was a battle, one she fought tirelessly, day after day, with dreams for her children shrouded in uncertainty. One bleak afternoon, after an excruciating 10-hour shift, Lucy found herself slumped in her old car, parked beside a crumbling playground. The laughter of children rang sweet and painful in her ears. She tried to remember the last time she'd been able to take her kids there, a day when they shared ice cream cones and laughter under a warm sun. Just then, despair wrapped around her like a cold, wet blanket. She stared through her fogged-up window, lost in a haze of financial worry. Suddenly, a sharp tap shattered her tranquility. Startled, she turned to find Tom, a veteran she'd seen around town. His weathered face carried a kindness, framed by a tangled beard of white. "Hey there," he called, his voice rich, filled with warmth. "Mind if I share something with you?" With a heart pounding in her chest, she nodded. Tom held out a small, wrapped package. "I know we all have our battles," he began, eyes sparkling with compassion. "Once upon a time, I was lost, too. My daughter faced challenges that made our world feel small, until a stranger stepped in with hope. This is for your kids." The air crackled with possibility as Tom pressed the package into her hands. Inside lay a letter, one that held a lifeline to a local scholarship program that had changed Tom's daughter's life. A chance she could give her own children a brighter future. Lucy's heart raced, a mix of hope and doubt flooding her senses. Could this really be for them? Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system, and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. Tom's eyes locked onto hers, filled with an urging belief. It felt like he was peering right into her very soul. "Lucy, see the potential. You have so much strength in you. Don't let the shadows win." A rush of fear gripped her chest. What about judgment? Would the whispers follow her and her children if she tried to rise above? Just then, the laughter from the playground seemed to echo in her mind, bringing a flickering light of hope. What if she took that leap? What if this was the starting point for her children, an escape from their current reality? Clutching the package tightly, she realized that perhaps one stranger really could change the course of a life, but could she believe in herself enough to embrace that gift? As the sun dipped lower behind the rusty rooftops, casting shadows thick with uncertainty, Lucy sat there, heart racing with a question that hung in the air like an unspoken promise. What would she choose for her family as the horizon darkened? As the last rays of sunlight dipped below the horizon, Lucy felt the weight of the moment pressing down on her. The air was thick with anticipation, the kind that tingles at the back of your neck when you know something significant is about to happen. She glanced back at the letter in her hands, the neatly folded paper feeling like the keys to a locked door that she had been waiting years to open. "Tom," she whispered, her voice trembling slightly. "What if I fail? What if this is just another dead end?" Tom shifted on his feet, his gaze steady and unwavering. "Failure is part of the journey. What matters is how you rise afterward. This program could change everything for your kids." She looked out at the playground again, the joyful sounds now tinged with an ache. Memories of her children playing, carefree, flooded her mind. What would it mean for them to have opportunities she had never dreamed possible? Taking a deep breath, she opened the letter slowly, her heart racing. The words danced before her eyes as she read about the scholarship and opportunity aimed at bright students deserving of support. It wasn't just about money, it was about potential, growth, community. I want to lie, Tom said, breaking through her reverie. This one to be easy. But if you want it for your children, you have to fight for it. You have to show up. Lucy felt tears prick the corners of her eyes. It wasn't just about the scholarship. It symbolized hope in a life that had often felt dark. Could she really take that step? Do you believe in me, Tom? She asked, her voice barely above a whisper. More than you might think, he replied, genuine conviction in his eyes. But faith is just the beginning. You have to believe in yourself. The truth of his words hit Lucy hard. She thought of her children Ella and Jake, how much she had sacrificed for them, how hard she fought against the current. Somewhere along the way, she had lost her belief in what was possible for her own life too. I don't want them to feel trapped, she whispered, more to herself than to him. I want them to see the world as a place filled with possibilities. With newfound resolve, she squared her shoulders, feeling the heaviness of doubt begin to lift. You're right. I need to try. As relief mixed with a bubbling excitement, she felt a spark ignite within her. It wasn't just for her children anymore, it was for herself too. She had dreams colored with splashes of light and possibility. Before she could lose her nerve, Lucy tore the letter from the envelope and tucked it into her purse with a decisive nod. I'm going to make that call. Tomorrow. I'll find out more. Tom grinned, a warm smile lighting up his face. That's the spirit. Just remember, one step at a time. As they exchanged a few more words, Lucy felt the world shift ever so slightly in her favor. But as she drove home, excitement coursing through her veins, a new wave of fear washed over her. What if she wasn't enough? What if she couldn't juggle work and applications, kids and dreams? That night, Lucy lay in bed, thoughts swirling like leaves caught in the wind. Just as she began to drift off, a realization struck her: this wasn't just about scholarships. It was about breaking free, creating a new narrative for her family. And then, in that stillness, a voice echoed in her mind. What if? The thought lingered, a whisper chasing her into sleep, leaving her with a question that felt electrifying and terrifying at the same time. What if she dared to dream bigger than ever before? In the quiet of the night, she made a promise to herself: she would rise to the challenge, she would embrace uncertainty, and she would seize this chance no matter what lay ahead. What awaited her in the morning would be a test of courage, struggle, and choice. As the dawn approached, brightening the sky with hints of gold and lavender, Lucy wondered, could she truly break the cycle and forge a new path, or would fear stop her yet again? The morning light filled Lucy's kitchen, filtering through the sheer curtains like soft whispers of reassurance. She stood at the counter, her hands wrapped around a steaming mug of coffee. The aroma was comforting, a brief respite from the storm of emotions swirling within her. Today was the day. With each passing minute, anticipation bubbled beneath her surface. She fished the letter out of her purse and unfolded it once more, the printed words blurring momentarily as her heart raced. It was a lifeline, a chance for her children and, in an unexpected way, for herself. Ella bounded into the kitchen, her hair a wild halo of curls. Mom! What's for breakfast? Lucy smiled, trying to match her daughter's enthusiasm. How about pancakes? With your favorite syrup? Yes. Ella jumped up and down, her excitement contagious. Lucy felt the warmth of joy seep into her chest. This was why she needed to do this. As she poured batter onto the hot griddle, her mind drifted back to yesterday's conversation with Tom. His belief in her thrummed like a guitar string, urging her to silence her self-doubt, to take that leap. But now, faced with her bustling daughter and the demands of the day, that fear crept in again. What if she couldn't handle it? The applications, the interviews, the juggling act of motherhood and ambition. Mom, can I help? Ella asked, climbing onto a chair. Sure, you can pour the syrup. While they worked side by side, laughter bounced around the kitchen, blending with the sound of sizzling pancake batter. In those moments, life felt uncomplicated. Everything else seemed distant, even the weight of her decision hanging over her. Once breakfast was devoured, Lucy cleared the table and glanced at the clock, a small reminder that time was ticking. She needed to make that call, yet she hesitated, her pulse quickening again. Just as she picked up the phone, a sudden tapping echoed through the house. Startled, she turned toward the window. There, outside, a stranger waved at her with a bright smile, holding a colorful stack of brochures. "Hello. Sorry to bother you," the stranger shouted, her voice cheerful. "I'm here to talk about community programs. Can I share some information?" Lucy's heart raced. What were the odds? This stranger, with her enthusiastic spirit, stood in perfect contrast to the doubts that had clouded Lucy's mind all morning. Sure." Lucy found herself calling back, curiosity winning over uncertainty. As she opened the door to let the stranger in, it felt like an invitation not just to new information, but to fresh possibilities. The stranger introduced herself as Mia, a local volunteer working on initiatives for children and families in need of support. "Have you heard about the local scholarship fund?" Mia asked, her eyes gleaming with passion. Lucy's breath caught in her throat. Was it possible this was fate? Mia began explaining the various resources available, opportunities to integrate into the community, and the very scholarship Lucy had been contemplating. Each word felt like a gentle nudge toward her goal, rekindling her spirit. "Mia, I was just about to apply for the scholarship myself," Lucy admitted, the words tumbling out before she could stop them. "Oh, that is amazing. You should. It will change things for your kids. There's so much potential waiting for you." With every enthusiastic word from Mia, Lucy's heart surged. The stranger was right, this was more than a scholarship. It was the dawn of something brighter for her and her children. As they spoke, Lucy couldn't shake the feeling that something significant was stirring within her. This encounter felt like a sign, bolstering her resolve to rise against the fears that had held her back. "Maybe this is the push I needed," she said, feeling a spark ignite once more. Mia's smile radiated excitement. "Exactly. You're on the right path. Think of this as an opportunity to transform your dreams into a reality." Lucy nodded, her heart swelling with hope. With each moment, she realized that maybe, just maybe, the forces aligning around her weren't just coincidence. They were part of a much larger story, her story of strength and resilience. As the morning unfolded, Lucy made herself a promise: she wouldn't just consider the scholarship, she would commit to it, to herself, and to her family's future. But just as she felt her confidence bloom, a shiver of doubt crept in again. What if accepting this chance meant forsaking stability? What if the journey became too daunting? At that moment, she glanced out the window at the vibrant blue sky, a blank canvas awaiting her brush. Would she dare to paint it with bold colors of hope? The air felt charged with possibility, and she knew she had to decide. What awaited her on this path could change everything if only she could take that first step. Lucy's heart pounded in her chest, a mix of excitement and trepidation thrumming through her veins. As Mia continued to explain the details of the scholarship program, Lucy's mind raced with thoughts of what this could mean for her family. She had spent years hovering at the edge of dreams, ideas and ambitions pushed aside for the sake of routine and stability. But now, this vibrant stranger had opened a door she didn't even realize was there. "Lucy, can I ask you something?" Mia suddenly inquired, her voice cutting through the haze of Lucy's thoughts. "What do you dream of doing?" The question hung in the air, heavy with implication. Lucy felt her breath catch. She had tucked away her dreams for so long that she struggled to remember what they were. I used to want to become a teacher," she admitted slowly, the words spilling out hesitantly. "I always loved sharing knowledge, connecting with kids." Mia leaned in, her eyes sparkling with interest. "Then why not go for it? This scholarship can help you get the necessary credentials, and you can make such a difference in those kids' lives. Think how much you would love to inspire them. Lucy's heart soared and then sank all at once. The idea of actually pursuing teaching felt like wading into deep waters, invigorating yet daunting. But what if I don't have the time? What if the kids need me more? Her voice trembled, revealing the vulnerability she kept so carefully hidden. The kids will always need you, Mia replied gently. But they also need you to be happy and fulfilled. Imagine how much stronger the example you'd set for them would be. Isn't that worth it? At that moment, the room felt charged with energy. Lucy locked eyes with Mia, the conviction in her voice glowing like a beacon. Deep within, she knew Mia was right. Still, the shadows of doubt flickered, threatening to diminish the light of possibility. Just then, the kitchen door swung open, and Ella darted back in, her face flushed from playing outside. "Mom, can we go to the park? I want to play on the swings." "Of course, sweetie," Lucy replied, her heart warming at the sight of Ella's joy. "Can I come?" Mia chimed in, her enthusiasm infectious. "Really? You want to come to the park with us?" Lucy asked, an eyebrow raised. "Absolutely. Kids are my favorite." Mia grinned, clearly ready for some fun. As they walked to the park, Lucy felt the tension inside her easing. Ella chatted excitedly between them, her laughter bubbling like a fountain. But even amidst this joy, the weight of her decision loomed larger. Would she be able to balance responsibilities, or would chasing her passion slip through her fingers? At the park, Ella raced ahead, her energy contagious. Lucy watched as she swung high into the air, mastering the art of gravity with each push. Mia stood beside Lucy, her presence a steadying influence. "Look at her," Mia said, a soft smile gracing her lips. "She's fearless. Just like you can be." Lucy felt a warmth blossom inside her. Maybe this leap into the unknown was more than just about her. It was about setting an example for Ella, about showing her that following your dreams is a worthwhile adventure. As they sat together in the fading afternoon light, Lucy's resolve strengthened. She would apply for the scholarship. There was no turning back now. But just as hope flourished, echoes of uncertainty returned, whispering their familiar doubts. What if she failed? Mia's voice broke through her thoughts. "Remember, Lucy, every journey starts with a step. You might stumble along the way, but that is how you grow. Don't let fear write your story for you." Just then, a sudden gust of wind swept through, fluttering Ella's hair like golden streamers in the air. Lucy looked at her daughter, her heart swelling with newfound determination. But as she glanced back over at Mia, she felt a chill creep under her skin, the rush of excitement starting to mix with an unsettling fear. What if embracing this new chapter meant losing parts of herself? Did she have what it took to redefine her life? The sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky with streaks of orange and pink. It felt like a gentle reminder of the transitions in life, the darkness always giving way to light. As the stars began to twinkle above, Lucy realized she stood on the edge of something monumental. With a deep breath, she turned to face the uncharted territory before her. What awaited her if she dared to leap into the unknown? Would she find herself, or would every choice lead her deeper into uncertainty? Lucy tossed and turned in bed that night, her mind a whirlpool of thoughts. The shadows danced across the walls, mirroring the doubts that flickered in and out of her consciousness. What if she wasn't good enough? What if the sacrifice required tore her family apart? As she closed her eyes, moments of Ella's laughter echoed in her ears, each giggle like a gentle nudge urging her forward. Morning light flooded through the curtains, casting a warm glow across the room. Ella's cheerful voice burst into the silence, a sweet harbinger of the day ahead. "Mom, is today the day we go to the park again?" "Yes, it is," Lucy replied, trying to inject enthusiasm into her voice. Today, she promised herself, she would focus on being present with her daughter, at least for now. The scholarship could wait a little longer. A cool breeze whispered through the open window, bringing with it a promise of fresh beginnings. After breakfast, they headed out hand in hand. Lucy could see a flock of birds soaring through the sky and felt her spirits lifting as they approached the park. Ella darted ahead, her little legs moving as fast as they could, while Lucy ambled behind, soaking in the vibrant colors around her, the vivid greens of the grass, the gentle rustle of the trees, and the laughter of children playing. They reached the swings, and Lucy took a moment to watch Ella, her heart swelling with pride and love. But even as she smiled at her daughter, a slight shadow crossed her mind. Right now, she was just a mom watching her child have fun. What if she could be more? Mom! Push me! Ella shouted, as she soared high above the ground, her little fists pumping in the air with joy. Lucy complied, pushing her daughter higher. Each push felt invigorating, like a challenge against the very gravity that once held her back. You're flying! Lucy cheered, the thrill in her voice overpowering her lingering fears. Just then, a figure approached, catching Lucy's eye. It was Mia, arms outstretched wide with welcome. The sight of her lit a flicker of hope inside Lucy, and she waved back with a smile. Hey! Mind if I join in? Mia asked, her energy contagious. Please do. Lucy replied, grateful for the distraction. Together, they clustered by the swings, watching Ella dive into her laughter and excitement, both feeling the rush of joy in her presence. Mia suddenly turned serious, and Lucy sensed a shift. Have you thought any more about the scholarship? Lucy hesitated. The weight of her dreams felt heavier in the morning sun. I want to, but what if I'm not ready? What if it changes everything? Mia took a breath, her gaze steady. Change isn't always bad, Lucy. You need to consider what staying in the same place is costing you too. I know, Lucy sighed, casting her eyes downward. I just don't want Ella to feel abandoned. Think about it this way. Mia leaned closer, her voice a whisper of encouragement. If you pursue your dreams, you're showing her that she should chase hers too. Isn't that the legacy you want to leave? As Ella's laughter rang out, something clicked inside Lucy. Maybe it wasn't about abandoning her family, but about expanding what it meant to be a mother. Maybe pursuing her dreams would make her a stronger role model. Okay, I'll do it, Lucy said suddenly, her voice steady like the ground beneath her feet. I'll apply for the scholarship. Mia's face lit up. That's amazing. You won't regret it. Just remember, you need to take it one step at a time. The afternoon sun melted into a golden hue, casting a perfect light on the conversations about dreams, and for the first time in a while, Lucy felt clarity wash over her. Just then, as if the universe were signaling her, a small gust of wind whipped through the park, scattering leaves playfully around them, but even in this moment of promise, a thought crept in that made her heart race again. What if, upon embarking on this journey, she discovered a deeper truth about what family really meant? Would it bring them closer together, or could it lay bare fears and insecurities she had kept hidden? The park was alive with energy, yet Lucy felt a weighty pull inside her as she reflected on the unknown ahead. It felt like standing at the edge of a vast ocean, waves crashing with potential and uncertainty. What awaited her beneath the surface of this new path she would take? Would she sink or swim as she bustled toward her dreams? As the sun sank lower, dipping below the horizon, Lucy and Mia chatted animatedly about the scholarship application while Ella played nearby, her giggles ringing out like sweet music in the evening air. They marveled at how quickly summer had flown by, and the fleeting nature of these simple moments pressed on Lucy's heart. So, do you have everything ready? Mia asked, dragging Lucy's mind back to the gravity of the decision. The application is just around the corner. Lucy nodded, her fingers absently tugging at the hem of her shirt. I think so. I've got my essay ideas, and the recommendation letter, but I can't shake this feeling that something's missing. Mia leaned closer, her eyes sparkling. What's holding you back? You're one of the most driven people I know. If anyone deserves this, it's you. I guess it's just, the fear of the unknown. Lucy sighed. Am I really ready to step into a bigger world? What if I fail? Even the thought of failing makes me feel nauseous. Mia took a moment, her expression softening. Failing doesn't mean you're not enough. It means you're trying. And let us be real, Lucy, who hasn't stumbled a bit when chasing something big? Suddenly, Lucy caught sight of Ella running towards them, her cheeks flushed with energy, a tiny trail of golden light surrounding her. Mom, look what I found! Ella shouted, holding out her hands as if she had just discovered treasure. In her tiny palms was a shimmering feather, delicate and iridescent. Look! It's like magic! Ella bounced on her toes, her excitement bubbling over. Lucy's heart fluttered at the sight. It was a simple feather, yet it felt significant, imbued with a sense of wonder and possibility. That's beautiful, honey. She crouched down to Ella's level, running her fingers delicately over the delicate surface. You're right. It is magical. Ella nodded vigorously, her eyes sparkling with innocence. It means we're going to have an adventure. Right, Mommy? Like explorers? Lucy chuckled, her heart both heavy and light at that moment. Adventure. Ella was right. Every application, every leap into the unknown was indeed an adventure waiting to unfold. Absolutely, sweetie, Lucy said, her voice warmer as if articulating a new resolve. And I think we're going to have a lot of them in the coming weeks. Suddenly, a tapping sound broke her thoughts, echoing through the park like a whispered omen. Lucy turned, confusion knitting her brow. There was an older woman standing outside the park gate, gently tapping on the metal bars, her weathered face glowing softly in the fading sunlight. Excuse me, the woman called, her voice raspy yet warm, I think you dropped this. She held out a vibrant scarf, its colors a swirl of reds and oranges, that Lucy recognized as hers. Lucy blinked in surprise, taking in the stranger's kind eyes. How had she not noticed it slip from her bag? Oh. Thank you. She called back, moving closer. Before Lucy could reach her, the woman leaned on the gate, a knowing smile on her lips. It's not often we find something we think we've lost only to realize we've been holding onto it the whole time. A shiver raced down Lucy's spine, the woman's words resonated in ways she hadn't expected. Life has a way of redirecting us. Are you ready for the change coming your way? The woman's eyes locked onto Lucy's, a sense of urgency humming in the air. Lucy's heart raced. She felt a spark, something transformative happening not just in the space between them, but within her as well. Are you okay? Mia whispered, her brows slightly pinched in concern as she stood by Lucy's side. I don't know, Lucy murmured, feeling both unnerved and intrigued. As she took a step toward the gate, Ella tugging at her hand, Lucy couldn't get the woman's piercing gaze out of her mind. Something in her heart told her the words meant more than just the scarf. What if this encounter was a sign? What awaited her on this path she was ready to pursue? Lucy could feel her pulse quicken as her thoughts spun again, fueled by the potential of the possibilities ahead. What awaited her once she opened herself to the adventure? Would the woman reveal something life-changing? And what would that mean for Lucy and her family? The woman's smile widened, a subtle warmth that eased Lucy's anxiety. It was as if she could see right into Lucy's heart, the fear and yearning tangled tightly there. Lucy glanced at Ella, who was now inspecting the feather as if it were the most important artifact ever discovered. That innocent curiosity nudged something in Lucy. Can I help you? The words stumbled out before she could think them through. Her curiosity had been piqued, and she needed to know what the woman truly meant. Sometimes, the woman began, her voice steady and gentle as the breeze began to rustle through the trees. Sometimes, the universe sends us little nudges. All we have to do is pay attention. There are paths waiting for you, dear. She inclined her head, urging Lucy to take a step closer. Lucy's heart beat in her chest as her mind reeled. Paths? What do you mean? I'm just trying to get through a scholarship application. It's just my next step. Oh, it's never just that, the woman replied, her eyes twinkling. Each step you take is a thread in the tapestry of your life. You're woven into something bigger. Bigger? Lucy echoed, bewildered by the idea. I'm just a single mother. I'm trying to do right by Ella and make a life for us. Exactly, the woman said, her smile unwavering. And the journey of a single mother can be as grand as any story ever told. Don't underestimate the power of your dreams or the whispers of your heart. They lead. Ella tugged once more at Lucy's hand, her face lit up with wonder, oblivious to the weight of the conversation. Mommy, can we go? I want to play. The woman's gaze softened as she turned to the child. Children understand magic far better than we do, she said, her tone still soothing. Then, she turned her attention back to Lucy. Only you can decide what magic lies ahead. With that, she slipped the scarf through the gate and onto Lucy's outstretched hand. Keep this close. It might remind you of the adventure waiting just around the corner. Lucy looked at the vibrant colors, the swirling reds and oranges, and felt a sudden swell of emotion. It felt significant, like a tiny lifeboat in choppy waters. Thank you, she said, wrapping her fingers around the fabric. I will. A breeze picked up, rustling the leaves overhead, and in that moment, Lucy felt something shift within her, like an unhinged door swinging wide open. Maybe the fear that trembled inside her was not meant to hold her back but to push her forward. As the woman started to step back, her voice rose above the whisper of the trees. You'll know when it's time. Trust yourself. Wait. Lucy called, urgency threading her voice. But just as she asked, the woman turned and walked into the shadows of the trees, disappearing like a fleeting thought. Lucy felt something bittersweet as she watched her go, hope, mixed with frustration from not getting the answers she craved. She turned to Mia, whose eyes were wide with intrigue. What just happened? Mia shrugged, excitement bubbling beneath the surface. I think you met a mystic. But more importantly, Lucy, I see it in you. A shift is happening, you just have to decide to embrace it. Lucy stared down at Ella, who was spinning in circles, laughter spilling from her lips like music. In that moment, the magic of the feather lay not just in the object, but in the opportunity it represented. The possibilities swirled in the air, and her heart beat with a fragile yet undeniable hope. What if I do? Lucy whispered, mostly to herself, her heart racing at the thought. Would she really step out into the uncertainty? How far would she go? Suddenly, Ella ran over, her hands reaching for the scarf, eager as ever. Mommy, can we go on our adventure now? Lucy knelt down, pulling Ella close. Yes, sweet girl, an adventure awaits us. The biggest one yet. With renewed courage, she felt ready to dazzle the world, but the shadows of doubt were still lurking, whispers of hesitation threading around her resolve. What awaited her on this untraveled path? And could she truly embrace the change that was drawing nearer, promising light, hope, and possibility? A week passed since that encounter in the park. Lucy held the scarf regularly, feeling its texture and letting the colors warm her heart, but doubt nagged at her. The reality of her scholarship application loomed like a shadow, and the weight of responsibility pressed heavily on her shoulders. Every time she sat down to write, words escaped her, fluttering away like leaves in the wind, but today felt different. Sunlight streamed through the kitchen window, illuminating the small clutter of breakfast dishes. Ella was dancing around in a tuneful hum, lost in her own little world as she played with her doll. Watching her daughter radiate joy, Lucy felt a flicker of inspiration. Hey, sweet pea, Lucy called, wiping her hands on a dish towel. How about we go to the library? I need to get some stuff done for my application. Ella's eyes sparkled with excitement. Can we get ice cream after? Lucy chuckled. If you're good, we'll make it a treat. They bundled up and headed out into the crisp autumn air. The library was just a few blocks away, lined with trees painted in hues of gold and red. Each step felt like a soft thrum of possibility underfoot. As they entered the library, the smell of old books enveloped them, a comforting embrace. Lucy settled down at a table nearby, pulling out her laptop. She could hear Ella giggling as she explored the children's section, her laughter echoing like a playful melody. With every keystroke, Lucy breathed life into her application, pouring her hopes and fears onto the digital page. But soon, the clatter of small footsteps distracted her. "Mommy, look what I found!" Ella exclaimed, rushing over with a colorful book in her hands, the cover glowing with illustrations of dragons and adventures. Lucy's heart swelled at Ella's enthusiasm. "That looks amazing. Did you pick it out all by yourself?" "Yep. Can we read it together?" Lucy's heart fluttered. A moment as simple as this felt important. "Of course, darling." They settled together in a cozy nook, Ella snuggled under Lucy's arm, flipping through the pages. As the story unfolded, Lucy began to lose herself in the vibrant world of imagination, something she hadn't done in quite a while. As they read on, an unexpected knock on the window beside them caught Lucy's attention. She turned her head, startled, and saw a stranger standing outside, a woman clad in an oversized coat, her face partially hidden beneath a knit hat. For a moment, their eyes locked, as if the universe was drawing them together once more. The woman raised her hand in a wave, then pointed toward the entrance of the library. Lucy's brows knitted in confusion. What could she want? Was it the same woman from the park? The encounter flooded her with a mix of excitement and apprehension. "Just a second, Ella," Lucy said softly, standing up and making her way toward the exit. As she stepped outside, the chill kissed her cheeks, and she noticed the woman had a serene smile on her face. "Hello again," the woman said, her tone soothing like the gentle wind. "Hi, it's you. I didn't expect to see you here," Lucy replied, a thousand questions racing through her mind. "I come here often, seeking stories ourselves," the woman replied, glancing back at the door where Lucy had just stepped from. "It looks like you've begun your own journey. Have you embraced the threads waiting for you?" Lucy's heartbeat quickened. "I'm trying. I don't know if I'm capable of truly stepping into something big. Sometimes, the biggest adventures start with the smallest steps," she encouraged, stepping closer. "Don't let fear dim your light." As the words hung between them, Lucy felt a spark igniting deep within her. The possibility of connection, of support, radiated from the woman. "Would you like to join us for ice cream?" Lucy found herself asking, surprised by her own boldness. The woman chuckled softly, her presence warm against the sharpness of the day. "I would love to. But remember, this is just the beginning. There is so much more to your story." With those words, Lucy realized the adventure wasn't just outward in the form of the scholarship or fear of the unknown, but also within herself. How far could she go if she let the threads of hope intertwine with courage? And as they walked towards the ice cream shop together, a question loomed larger in Lucy's heart. What if this moment of connection was just the beginning of something much more profound? The ice cream shop was a cozy spot, its pastel-colored walls and cheerful decor making it feel like a little piece of joy in the world. Lucy and Ella settled at a small table, the clink of spoons echoing softly in the background. The woman, who had introduced herself as Clara, joined them with a scoop of chocolate fudge in hand. "Your daughter is quite a burst of sunshine," Clara commented as she leaned back in her chair, an easy smile gracing her lips. Ella beamed, her cheeks dusted with pink. "Thanks. I love ice cream." "Who doesn't?" Clara laughed. "So, Lucy, tell me about this journey you've embarked on. What is your story?" Lucy hesitated, her heart racing. This felt like an invitation to unfurl everything she had been clutching inside. "Well, I'm trying to get a scholarship. It's something I've wanted for a long time," but she faltered, the weight of her insecurities creeping back in. "I just feel like I'm not enough sometimes." Clara's gaze held steady, her expression warm and encouraging. "You know, everyone has those moments. You're not alone. What if I told you that the greatest stories often come from our struggles? You have an amazing tale in you already." Lucy nodded slowly, her mind racing. Was it really that simple? Could her challenges shape her narrative rather than hinder it? Ella, her spoon still clasped tightly in her small hand, interrupted. "Mommy, can I be in your story too? Like the dragons in my book?" "Of course, sweet pea," Lucy chuckled, feeling the warmth of a smile reach her eyes. The weight of her doubts felt a little lighter, shared among the three of them, like the swirls of flavor in their ice cream. "Maybe you could write about what it means to be a mom and a student," Clara suggested. "That balance of your dreams and your realities. It might resonate with a lot of people." Lucy took a deep breath, letting Clara's words sink in. "I hadn't thought of it that way. I always felt like those two parts of my life were at odds." "Sometimes they weave beautifully together," Clara said. "You just have to find your way to connect the dots." Suddenly, Lucy felt a glimmer of possibility dawning within her. Maybe her struggles and triumphs could form a rich tapestry rather than a tangled mess. Perhaps she could highlight her journey as a woman, a scholar, and a mother navigating through life. As the conversation flowed around their table, Lucy found herself engaging more deeply than she expected. Clara shared her own story of struggle and transformation, the bumps in her path leading her to unexpected heights. Each anecdote was like a thread weaving into the fabric of their shared experience. Ice cream melted slowly in the cups, forgotten as they immersed themselves in lively discussion. The world outside faded with each laugh and heartfelt moment. Clara's kindness and wisdom felt like a lighthouse guiding Lucy's ship through turbulent waters, but in the back of her mind, the nagging doubt lingered like a distant storm cloud. What if this newfound inspiration was fleeting? What if she couldn't capture it when she returned home? Ella swung her legs excitedly, her voice cutting through Lucy's spiraling thoughts. "Can we go to the park after this, Mommy? I want to play." "Sure, we can do that," Lucy said, ruffling her hair, feeling lighter as the two worlds within her began to merge. As they finished up, Clara reached out, placing her hand over Lucy's. "Remember, every day is a new beginning. Just take it one step at a time." Lucy left the ice cream shop feeling different, like she had slipped a new coin into the jukebox of her life, changing the tune. But a question still chased her: could she really meld her two worlds into a cohesive story, or was she destined to remain split between who she was and who she aspired to be? As they walked towards the park, the vibrant hues of autumn surrounding them, Lucy took a deep breath. Whatever lay ahead, she felt a sense of courage brewing, ready to embrace it fully, but would she be strong enough to write her truth? The sun broke through the clouds, illuminating the park with a warm glow. Lucy felt its gentle light on her skin as she sat on a bench, watching Ella swing joyfully. Every push sent her daughter soaring, laughter echoing through the air. In that moment, the heaviness she'd been carrying began to lift, replaced by a flicker of excitement for what lay ahead. Clara joined her on the bench, her presence steady and filled with encouragement. "You're taking steps," she said, gesturing toward Ella. "Each moment creates ripples in your life." Lucy's heart swelled. "I never knew how much courage it would take to embrace this journey. But watching Ella, it makes me want to be better, for both of us." Clara nodded knowingly. Inspiring your child becomes a powerful force. What you're doing now, this isn't just about you. It's about showing her that dreaming big can be reality. Lucy thought back to their conversation earlier, the vibrant ice cream, and the shared stories. It's wild how something so simple can spark such a change. Life's magic often lies in those simple moments, Clara reflected, her gaze following Ella, her cheeks flushed with pure joy. But remember, magic requires belief. Lucy took a deep breath, feeling something shift inside. The doubt had existed for so long, whispering discouragement and fear. But now, each swing of Ella was like a heartbeat that echoed hope within her. "What if I could turn that belief into action?" she asked, smiling at Clara. "What if the scholarship truly could open doors for us?" "Exactly. It's a gateway," Clara encouraged, her voice a beacon of possibility. "Think of the legacy you could create." Lucy felt a thrill of determination rising. "I want to show Ella that dreams are worth fighting for," she said, her voice steady and determined. "Then fight for it," Clara urged. "Take the leap, even if it's daunting. You have the strength in you." The words rang true, and for the first time in a long while, Lucy imagined herself stepping fully into her desires, not shrinking back. As the sun dipped lower in the sky, casting golden light over the playful park, Lucy confronted her fears head-on. The looming scholarship application no longer felt like a weight dragging her down, it was a chance to weave her story into a beautiful tapestry of courage and resilience. "Tomorrow, I'll finalize my application," she declared, the words spilling out like the thrill of a well-earned victory. Ella dashed over, her hair dancing behind her, her laughter bubbling like a playful brook. "Mommy! Come push me higher." Lucy jumped up, her concerns momentarily forgotten. She joined Ella, the joy radiating between them like an electric current. She pushed her daughter with all her might, feeling the exhilaration of living in the moment. Each push was not just emotion, it was a promise of new beginnings. Time seemed to stretch, blissfully. The night sky settled in, and Lucy felt a warmth spread through her, a peace that solidified her commitment to change. She glanced over at Clara, who smiled encouragingly. "You've taken the leap today," Clara remarked, her eyes glowing in the dusky light. "Keep jumping." As they walked home hand in hand, Lucy's heart was buoyed with newfound hope. Conversations with Clara felt like bricks laid on a path towards her future. She reveled in the thought that she could rise, not just for herself, but for her children too. When they arrived home, the house was quiet, but Lucy didn't feel that familiar weight of loneliness. Instead, she felt an electrifying sense of purpose. That night, with her laptop open and determined fingers ready, she poured her heart and soul into her scholarship application. Every word felt like a step toward a future she could embrace, one filled with potential, purpose, and unwavering love for her children. It didn't matter if she stumbled, what mattered was showing up. As she wrote, a sense of freedom washed over her, weaving through her story. This was not just an application, it was a declaration of who she wanted to be. And as she hit submit, Lucy closed her eyes, imagining the possibilities ahead. No longer bound by doubt, she felt dizzy with the prospect of change. She had made her choice, tomorrow would be the beginning of another day, and she would face it with courage, with hope, and most importantly, with heart. And like the constellations beginning to sparkle in the evening sky, Lucy realized her own light had begun to shine. She was ready for whatever came next. So, my friends, if you felt that spark of inspiration resonate through this story, take action now. You need to subscribe immediately to the channel to not miss the next exclusive stories that uplift and transform lives. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm. Your support means the world. Comment below with your reactions and feelings about this transformative journey. Share this video instantly with at least 5 friends who need to see this. Don't wait not even one more second to share the magic. Let us spread hope and motivation together.